Okay, gang, I just wanted to point out that, as you know, since if we go back since January 26th, we've had our, if you remember, on January 16th, I said we're going to have the beginning of our crash. They were going to have a series of, small corrections. And since then, we've had a 10% correction and we're still in the correction. Then I said we'll finally have our capitulation, which should be in December or sometime in the first two quarters of next year, 2019, which we're right on target. What I want to show you is this, and this is getting very, the banks are in real trouble. The banks, for over 100 years, been leading the stock market up. When there's not a leadership, they always try to find another group, but it never works. You got to have the banks. Okay, so that's why we're seeing now the market is in the 7% consolidation since October. And notice that they're having a very difficult time. That's why they keep bringing in the plunger team to make sure the market doesn't drop, because the market wants to drop. And you can see why, because the banks that lead the market broke. Okay, they broke. All right, you can see they broke the support right here, broke. Okay, and then if you go and you can see, now watch the difference when you put up SPY. You see how the plunger team pushes the SPY up? You can't have the the S&P up here, okay, and the banks going down, okay. That you just have that it's just silly. You just can't have that kind of a contradiction, okay. So here's the banks broke its support, while the S&P. The only reason why the S&P is holding because of the plunger team. Now, my point is that we've been in this situation now for over a week in this area down here. They can't move above. And that's because the banks aren't, remember, the banks have to push up the stock market, which puts up your stock. As I always taught you, you can have a stock right here. Let's say this is, I don't care what it is, say IBM even. The only way that stock moves up, the stock can only go up 1/3. If it started up here and went down to here, now it's trying to move back up this way. It can only travel 1/3 of the distance between the bottom of its range and top of a range, unless the S&P right here is moving up, and it's not. The S&P's got to move up, and then you got to have the banks, okay, moving up. What we got is just the opposite. We got the banks in real bad shape. They're moving down, while the plunger team is trying to hold up the S&P. That's why you're finding it difficult, no matter what stock you buy or how good it looks. It gets up about 1/3 of the way and stops. And many times you'll see your stochastic going from phase 2 to phase 3, and yet it still can't get any higher, because again, you got to have the banks going up, S&P going up, pushing your stock up. So why am I mentioning this? Because here's what you got to watch. If you go look at the S&P, we're getting a big signal. See the volume falling off here? The volume is getting weak, very weak. So that means the selling is starting to slow up. Okay, the selling is starting to slow up. And if you look at our oil service stocks, all the whole service, refiners, all that group, you notice how they're all at the bottom of the easy money's already been made, and they can't move. So I think what they're going to try to do between now and first of the year, they're going to come up with some story. Trump is going to come up, Carlos is going to come up with some story to push the stock market back up, try to break it out, okay? And because I only see that because the volume is getting worse and worse. So the volume is diminishing, not increasing, because people are getting institutions know that every time they go in, they pull their bid out and the market goes to drop, it won't drop. So I just want you to be aware of this so that you're watching the oil stocks, the oil service stocks, the refiners, the group that we follow all the time, because those could end up being the big winner if they try to make a rally. So I just wanted to point to you that the volume, the selling volume, is now diminishing. So that could be that they're getting ready to try to push this market back up. Okay. So, but the big problem is the only way they can push the market up is how? The dollar has to come down. The dollar has to come down. And how does the dollar come down to push the market up and to push the oils up? They got to stop selling these treasuries, which pushes the yield up, which pushes the dollar up. And that's what they've been doing. So we'll see what happens. I just wanted to give that to you. See you on the charts.